Comparing metabolic health effects, sourdough bread versus store-bought bread. Introduction. Thank you for joining today's presentation on a topic that touches both tradition and modern nutrition: the metabolic health effects of sourdough bread versus store-bought bread. Bread is one of the oldest and most widely consumed foods in human history. Yet not all bread is created equal, especially when it comes to how it affects our bodies. With rising concerns about blood sugar regulation, insulin sensitivity, and gut health, understanding the differences between traditional sourdough and commercially produced bread is more important than ever. This presentation will explore how fermentation, ingredients, and processing methods influence metabolic health. We'll look at scientific evidence, nutritional profiles, and practical recommendations to help you make informed dietary choices. Agenda Overview. Here's what we'll cover today: understanding bread and metabolic health, sourdough bread, fermentation and nutritional profile, store-bought bread, processing and health considerations, metabolic health differences, scientific evidence and mechanisms. Conclusion: summarizing health implications and recommendations. Let's begin by setting the stage with a broader look at bread and its relationship to metabolic health. Understanding bread and metabolic health. Overview of bread varieties and consumption trends. Bread comes in countless forms, from rustic sourdough loaves to soft, mass-produced sandwich slices. Across cultures, bread has evolved from a handmade staple to a highly industrialized product. This shift has dramatically altered its nutritional value and health impact. Industrialization has led to widespread consumption of refined, additive-laden breads. While convenient, these changes have influenced public health outcomes, particularly in relation to metabolic disorders. Defining metabolic health and its markers. To understand how bread affects our bodies, we must first define metabolic health. It's a broad term encompassing several key markers. Blood sugar regulation. This reflects how efficiently the body maintains stable glucose levels, crucial for energy and diabetes prevention. Insulin sensitivity. A measure of how responsive cells are to insulin. Poor sensitivity can lead to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Lipid profiles. These include cholesterol and triglyceride levels, which indicate cardiovascular and metabolic risk. Inflammation markers. Chronic inflammation is a silent contributor to many metabolic diseases. Diet plays a major role in modulating these markers. Purpose and scope of the comparison. This presentation compares sourdough and store-bought breads in terms of their digestive impact, glycemic response, influence on gut microbiota. Our goal is to understand how these bread types affect metabolic health and guide healthier choices. Sourdough bread. Fermentation and nutritional profile. Natural fermentation process and wild yeast. Sourdough is made through a slow fermentation process involving wild yeast and lactic acid bacteria. These microorganisms break down starches and gluten, making the bread easier to digest. During fermentation, organic acids are produced. These not only enhance flavor and texture, but also contribute to sourdough's health benefits. The result? A chewy, flavorful loaf with a complex taste profile and improved nutritional properties. Key nutrients and bioactive compounds. Sourdough bread stands out nutritionally. Enhanced vitamins and minerals. Fermentation increases the bioavailability of nutrients like B vitamins, magnesium, and iron. Presence of antioxidants. These compounds help combat oxidative stress, a contributor to metabolic dysfunction. Prebiotic benefits. Sourdough contains prebiotics, non-digestible fibers that feed beneficial gut bacteria, supporting digestion and immune health. Glycemic index and digestive properties. One of sourdough's most notable advantages is its lower glycemic index. This means it causes a slower, more controlled rise in blood sugar after eating. Additionally, the fermentation process improves digestibility, making sourdough gentler on the gut and more efficient in nutrient absorption. Store-bought bread, processing and health considerations. Common ingredients and additives in commercial bread. Commercial breads are engineered for shelf stability and mass production. Common ingredients include refined flours. These lack fiber and nutrients, contributing to rapid digestion and blood sugar spikes. Added sugars, used to enhance flavor and texture, but they increase calorie load without nutritional value. Preservatives extend shelf life but may disrupt gut microbiota. Emulsifiers improve dough consistency but can affect intestinal barrier function. Refined flour, preservatives, and sugar content. Let's break down the metabolic impact. Refined flour increases carbohydrate density and glycemic response. Added sugars elevate blood sugar and insulin demand. Preservatives may negatively influence gut health by altering microbial balance. Glycemic load and metabolic response. Commercial breads typically have a high glycemic load, meaning they cause rapid spikes in blood sugar. This can challenge the body's ability to maintain glucose equilibrium, lead to reduced insulin sensitivity over time, contribute to metabolic disorders when consumed frequently. Metabolic health differences, scientific evidence and mechanisms. Impact on blood sugar and insulin sensitivity. Studies show that sourdough bread leads to lower post-meal blood sugar levels, improved insulin sensitivity due to modified starch structures from fermentation. These effects make sourdough a better choice for individuals concerned with blood sugar control. Influence on gut health and microbiota. Sourdough supports gut health in several ways. Prebiotics feed beneficial bacteria. Organic acids strengthen the gut barrier and reduce inflammation. Microbiota modulation may lower systemic inflammation and improve metabolic outcomes. Satiety, weight management, and inflammation. Sourdough digests slowly, increasing satiety and helping with weight control. Its anti-inflammatory properties contrast with the pro-inflammatory effects of highly processed breads. This difference is critical for long-term metabolic health and disease prevention. Summarizing health implications and recommendations. Key findings from the comparison. Sourdough improves glycemic control and nutrient absorption, supports gut health through fermentation and prebiotic content. Commercial breads often impair metabolic health due to additives and high glycemic load. Practical advice for healthier bread choices. Choose sourdough or whole grain breads with minimal additives. Read labels carefully to avoid excess sugars and preservatives. Prioritize fermentation and fiber-rich ingredients for better metabolic outcomes. Future research and dietary considerations. While current evidence supports sourdough's benefits, more research is needed to understand long-term effects on metabolic health, individual variability in response, how fermented breads fit into diverse dietary patterns. Lifestyle factors such as physical activity, sleep, and stress also play a vital role in metabolic health and should be considered alongside dietary choices. Conclusion. In conclusion, the bread we choose can significantly influence our metabolic health. Sourdough, with its natural fermentation, lower glycemic index, and gut-friendly properties, offers clear advantages over many store-bought options. By understanding these differences and making informed choices, we can support better blood sugar regulation, improve digestion, and long-term wellness. Thank you for your attention, and may your next loaf nourish both body and spirit.